friends, welcome to My Sew Bliss. Today I'm excited to bring you another sewing tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make this candy corn banner. In another tutorial I showed you how to make the table runner and it helped make the banner as well, but instead of making that video like 30 minutes long, I decided to put in another video. So if you don't have the candy corn triangle pieces cut out and ready to go, then go watch the table runner video and you'll see how to make those, and then you'll be ready to go to make your banner that looks like this. I'm obsessed with it. It turned out so dang cute and I love the colors I chose. It's a little twisted right there, but I didn't sew it twisted, I promise. So this is a pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Co. that they sent to me and it's very well done. I love that they have a PDF and a physical copy of it. I think that's huge. And having a pattern that you have options. So let's get started making our banner. To make the pendant, we're just gonna need those 5 pieces that we cut out when we made the table runner as well. If you missed that video, I'll put a link in the description where you can find it and see how to make these 5 candy corn pieces. Super cute, super easy. The table runner turned out super cute as well, so I highly recommend it. But it leaves you with these 5, like I said, candy corn pieces. So it's super nice because then you can turn them into a pendant and have matching pieces for your Halloween decor. So I have those. And then another thing you do when you're cutting out the table runner is cutting out the black triangles as well. So you should have 5 of those as well. And I have those ready to go as well. And then I'm just going to use, I have this bias binding. I don't know. I think I purchased this. I'm like, I don't think I made this, but I just had extra that I was going to use because my other fabric that I cut out for the table runner, I didn't do it on the bias. I didn't do bias binding. This one is, it'll be easier to do like a hanging pendant and to be able to tie it and stretch it. It's nice when it has a little bit of give, and that's why you create it on the bias. So bias binding is great to have as well. And the next thing that you're going to need is some fusible fleece or fusible interfacing. I'm just using this fusible interfacing. I have a whole roll of it. I just got on Amazon, and I am just going to lay my pieces on here. Now, since I'm not using fleece interfacing, a fusible fleece, so it would make it thicker, one thing that I could do, and I'm trying to decide, is interface both pieces. So that way it's extra strong, extra stable, which I think I am going to do. I think I really like that idea, and it wouldn't take a ton more interfacing either way. So because it's on a roll like this, I think it's going to be super easy to take it over to the ironing board and just lay my pieces on and then iron them. Make sure you're not ironing or getting the iron part on your iron. That was tricky to say, but we're just ironing on these pieces because if I got the sticky stuff on it, it just isn't good for your iron, and then you have to clean it, and it's not my favorite. But I'm gonna get those interfaced really nicely. Like I said, if you have the fusible fleece as well and you want to do that, totally can. It's going to make it a little bit thicker, give it a little more structure and dimension. Mine's just giving it more structure for the most part. So I'm going to make sure I have 5 of the candy corn and then 5 of the background and get those interfaced and then cut out as well. Once you've got your interfacing or fusible fleece fused on and then trimmed, you'll have 10, so 5 of our background and then 5 of our candy corn fabrics. So you should have 10 of those pieces, and we're going to take 1 of each of those pieces, put them right sides together, line them up, and then we're going to sew down the long side, pivot at the point, and then stitch back up. We're going to leave that top part open though. So I'm going to do that with all of my triangles. So I will have those 5 sewn together. So we can pin those and then meet over at the sewing machine. After you have all 5 pendants sewn, we're going to trim at the point. Make sure you don't cut the point, the stitching of the point, but this is just going to reduce that bulk so that you keep the point really nice. And then you can turn them right sides out. And it's helpful if you have a point turner or like a chopstick or a straw. I always keep something around. This seam guide, whatever this is called, has one on it. Sometimes it bends a little bit, so it's not my favorite. I also had a pack of these like different kinds of turners that were very helpful. So, and if you feel like your point's not coming out enough, maybe trim it a little more. But again, don't cut through your stitching. We don't want to ruin that or have a hole in it. So once it's turned right sides out, I'm going to iron that nicely to get it ready for our next step. And I'm going to do that to all 5 of them. Once you have all the pendants turned right sides out, we're then just going to top stitch around the 2 long edges that we sewed just to finish it off. You don't have to do this step, but I feel like it just gives it a really nice, clean, finished look to get us ready to finish off our bunting. So I'm going to head over to the sewing machine and do some top stitching. With your top stitching finished, we're then going to put our triangles, our candy corn, onto our bias binding. So I have about a 2-yard piece. It's a little bit long, like slightly a couple inches longer, but I just found the center of it, and that's where I'm going to place my first pendant, so that way we can work out from there. And I'm going to take my pendant and fold that in half and find the center of that, just so it's evenly spaced and looks nice. So once I find both centers, I can match those up. And this probably is easier with clips. I'm debating on pulling those out for this part, but you open up your bias binding, fold over that raw edge that we left open, and then I'm going to pin that in place. Yep, I think I need my clips. This would be a little easier, but we're just encasing that edge with the binding, and once we get them all in place, we can sew them on. Okay, so there's my first one. And then in the pattern, it does have you space them about 4 inches apart, which would be around there. And I mean, do as you want, do what you like. I might do them a little closer, so it's like 1 inch, 2 inches apart, I think is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my clips and clip. We're going to put 2 on one side of our center one and then 2 on the other side. So that way they're evenly spaced and we have the tails to tie off on. Once you have the pendants clipped on to the bias binding, I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine, and if you want, you can tuck those raw edges under and then fold it. And then we're going to stitch along this edge that's opened, so that we just sandwiched that in. I'm going to stitch all the way over across the binding, the bunting, all the way to the other side, finish off this end as well. So it'll encase our triangles and look really nice. So let's head over to the sewing machine. Okay guys, once you are done sewing that binding down all the way, so I went all the way to the end, one end and all the way to the other end, and it looks so good. I'm obsessed. It's so cute. I think I'm gonna put this on like my entry front table and hang it down, and then have, I think the table runner might look good. It might be a little big for it, but put the table runner on top of it. So I think it'll be so cute. And then that leaves you with a little bit of room to like tie off. So super cute, easy project for Halloween, and I absolutely love it. I think Halloween decor might be some of my favorite kind of decor. It's just so fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe so you can see more sewing tutorials, tips, and tricks, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!